You want to ask a question?
All right. My name is Helen Ramirez Odell. I'm a school nurse, and I've been active in the union a long time, and my question is for any of you who care to answer. I hope each of you will. All right. All of the past union leaders have always considered clinicians, school nurses, social workers, psychologists, etc., that we have all the rights in the contract that teachers have, plus our own special section in the contract. Our paraprofessionals, our vision and hearing technicians, our LPNs, they have everything that the paraprofessionals have. I'd like to know, do you see us as having all these same rights, or do you see us in a different category, needing something special and individual in the contract?
We'll start with Karen.
Helen, I guess I'm not quite sure I understand your question. Are you basically saying, would we change anything or take anything away? I mean, I'm not quite sure what you're asking. I think that
basically what I'm asking is, do you view clinicians as having all the same rights that teachers have in the contract if they're on the professional level, and the ones that are paraprofessionals, like our technicians, as having all of the rights that the paraprofessionals have in the contract?
Absolutely. And not only do I think you have the rights, I think you need more protection. I think the biggest problem is the threat of privatization, as the board does, because here's the problem. The lack of leadership on this issue has allowed them to sort of privatize as they go on, which allows them to say, oh, past practice, we did this. I mean, we have to take an extraordinarily giant step to support you out even more. As far as I'm concerned, you need way more support. You have absolutely all the rights. You should get none taken away from you. But in addition, I would like to see contract language that refuses to allow bargaining members to be chipped off. So absolutely, that's a huge problem.
This is the Board of Education that you're talking about. If it isn't specific in the contract, they will question it, they will challenge it, we will have to grieve it, it will go to an appeal, it will go to a potential settlement, mediation, arbitration. If it's not crystal clear in the contract, I'm dealing with that firsthand, right now. Marilyn Stewart has done that to me. I'm on an unpaid leave of absence. It doesn't say that you take away all my benefits, my health insurance, my pension, everything, because I'm running for a public office. So where did Marilyn Stewart learn how to do her things? From the Board of Education. So if it's not specific, the board will challenge it. You better believe that as a contract expert and somebody who's been forcing this contract, I will load up Articles 19, 20, and 21 with as much protection as I can, including, as I said before, any attempts to reorganize the Office of Specialized Services.
My comment on that would be, you have all the rights as your teacher. And what we will do, make sure that those rights are there for you. And we will fight for those rights. They're there. They're part of the contract.
Let's be really, really honest with this. You do not have the same protection as the teachers. You can be dropped as a PSRP. If you lose your job, you don't have a reassignment. All you get is $1,000. You don't get the 80-day placement, and you're not treated the same.
Next question, Gloria.
My name is Gloria.
We're back down. Ted.
Everybody got one shot at that last question.
My name is Gloria Bashir, I'm a school social worker. And my question, I have to preface my question. We as clinicians are the only revenue generating entity of this system. When we first started billing for our services several years back, our our superiors used to announce to us at our meetings how much money, and in the millions that we generated, okay? And we got a nice planner as a thank you. But now, we cannot get an answer as to how much money we actually generate. But of course, if we're not documenting, then we've got a problem. But given that we are the only revenue generating entity of clinicians, that's a concern. Because we're generating funds, but yet, we have no jobs.
That's your question.
Okay, the question is, how will you protect our jobs, given that we have all of this top-heavy administration with all of the AIOs, CIOs, AEIOUs, and the like, and when they are downsized or pink-slipped, they are merely reshuffled.
Gloria, you're over.
Let me, yeah, I believe it's my turn to answer the question. Okay, I try to talk, and our platform, if you look at our platform on our website, it's very pragmatic, very realistic, and very attainable. So when I deal with issues, I try to deal with them from a pragmatic standpoint. We're going to fight for you as your bargaining unit member. But when it comes to managerial rights, our contract is very, very clear. 48-2, managerial rights, says the Chicago Teachers Union cannot get involved in the way the board restructures or reorganizes their departments. We cannot get involved in the board's overall budget. It's clear. Read that article. I ask everyone, we're all educated people here. We're the most educated union, but the least respected. Look at that article and you'll see. We need to put that language in.
Whatever the board reshuffles downtown, the bottom line is, you're in the contract, your positions are specified, you're bargaining unit members, and if the Board of Education is privatizing your work, the union must act. The union can act with an unfair labor practice against management, the union can sue. But the union can and should, and as I said, they've been asleep at the switch while all this has gone on. I've seen those contracts been given out over the past several years. They're contracting out the management of the time that you're talking about. They're contracting out social work services. The Board of Education is violating the C2 contract every day, and the current administration is doing nothing about it. Well, let me tell you, if our team is elected, July 1, that silence will be over. We will start filing unfair labor practices against every single contract that the Board of Education has given out over the past several years, because it is a blatant, black and white question. It's a violation of our contract, and we'll fight for that.
Like everyone's been saying, you guys are in the contract. It states in there that you all have all the rights that's stated in the contract. Job protection, true job protection, we have to fight, people. We have to get out there. If we have to fight in the streets, in the courts, on teachers' desks, on the Board of Education's desk, we, the union, will get out there and fight. CSDU wants to fight for your rights, and that's what we will do. Given the chance, July 1st, we will go in there, and that should be the first thing that we start doing, is to let the board know that we're not going to take it anymore, and we're going to file unfair labor practices, we're going to file grievances, because they have a thing that they don't want the union to file grievances. We're going to file a grievance on everything. If it's in the contract and we can get away with it, we'll file the grievance. All they can do is say no.